What's going on, guys? Booster Whips here. Today I'm going to be showcasing the Mando ECS-10 controller, which is compatible with the Genesis G70, G80, Kia Stinger, and other platforms. And we offer this on our website at boostedwhips.com. And it's a really nice add-on controller. It helps you with any vehicle that has the adaptive suspension. So normally this is on the higher trim. So on the G70 is like the Sports Prestige or the Advanced, and then on the higher trims of the Kia Stinger and G80 for that matter. So what this little box does, or controller does, you install it and you're able to, via an app, control fully settings of your suspension, such as dampening, rebound, compression, and you can set different presets depending on what you want to do. So you have a full control over the adaptive suspension versus the OEM, which is very limited. So that's really cool for that. So one of our customers did a full install on the G70. I haven't seen a video dedicated just for the G70. I've seen a lot of Kia Stingers on YouTube. So I will go ahead and roll back that installation step by step for the hardware perspective. So you use an app, which you got to download. I'll provide all the links for iOS and Android. And I just want to showcase this before I get into the install of the customer. So this comes in here with a manual, but show some screenshots, but majority is in Korean. So kind of a little bit useless, but this is how it comes. I'm going to try to see if I can do an English version of this myself and do like a write-up with the help of that customer that helped me do this video. But that's that. Here's a small little controller. This goes under your steering wheel, under by your fuse box. So it's really lightweight, really small, almost size or smaller than a credit card. It's a really neat little controller. And then under, beneath this, you have all your connections. So you have all these connections got to go in. It is plug and play. You have your ground wire, you have your controller module, and things that get plugged in right behind the steering wheel with a pigtail female converters, and then goes into the controller, which will control everything else. So pretty straightforward. So I'm gonna roll that video. We'll show you the installation. Then you just got to install the app, pair it, and basically play around with all the different settings. So here you go, guys. If you guys have any questions, comments after the video, go ahead and drop them below as usual. And then very important, for the 2022 facelift models of the G70, there is a dedicated controller for this. So we have both options listed on our website at www.boostedwhips.com, where you're able to select previous year models or for the facelift specifically. So there's a specifically controller for that, which a lot of the other vendors or manufacturers are not offering it. So we were able to bring out and offer the specific one for the facelift, which goes for 22 and up for the G70. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll that. Thanks for watching, guys. Again, if you have any questions, comments, go ahead and drop them below. Check us out at boostedwhips.com, and until next time.
Start by removing this panel above the steering column. Kind of work it with your hands. You can kind of work it like that. Next, there are 3 bolts behind the steering wheel. Helps to have the car on for this. I already got this one here. Get this one. Then one underneath, right. The bolts are all the same, so don't worry about keeping track of which one's which. Next, we're going to need to get this lower steering column panel off. Helps to put the wheel all the way back, and then just kind of work it however you can, moving the wheel to get. This is about as low as it goes, and the top here is also attached with leather, so those two are going to. On the right side of the steering column here, locate this wiring harness, remove it, and then add in the Mando cord, which I already have. This is the 2-sided one, so this is the Mando cord, and here are the wires that go to the Mando unit. This is the factory connector, which was originally in there. just unplug that, plug the Mando into the car connector, and plug this factory connector into the other side of the Mando. Then route the rest of the wires down towards the wire then down through here so it can go to the Mando unit. I already have mine connected and 3M taped onto this fuse panel just for easy access. Peel back this ceiling, this weather strip. If you come over here, it fits in like that. This slot fits into a slot in the back here, so it just peels back, peel back just enough to get this panel off, and you can come in from the inside and kind of work it. Also use the trim tool, helps get it off. This is the panel taken off. Just set that to the side and locate this bolt. This bolt we're going to add the ground wire to from the Mando. As you can see, I already have mine pinned in there. What you need is a socket to just loosen it there. Don't take it all the way out, just loosen it enough to create some space between this washer and the metal ground piece. Slide in the Mando cord, the ground wire, then screw it back in just to tighten it down. I have the other side of this coming down here to the Mando unit, and then the other part of this cord I have attached to a fuse tab. So if you don't have these are essential to get. You can just strip the wire from the Mando and put it in with the fuse, but that can be kind of dangerous, especially if you use one of the fuses for the airbags. But I did a fuse tap in here, and I tapped into this fuse right here, if you can see it. This one's for the wireless charging pad, so that's the one I tap into. But connected it to a wire tap. These are really cheap. Just go find one on Amazon, and they're really easy to connect. Once that's connected, connect all the wires to the Mando unit here. I 3M taped, just two-sided taped onto this fuse panel just so it's an easy access. I have my fuse tap here. Plug that in like that. This is all good, and we're pretty much done. Good to test now. Before putting everything together, just test that the Mando has power. So either turn your car on or go into an accessory mode, and the light should start blinking on the top there, which means it's good. So now we're good to put it back together. The order doesn't really matter. I'm starting with this panel. Pop that back in. Good. Get this here. Push it back in. Just make sure it's flush. Pretty easy. You might want to wrap these wires up a little bit. I didn't. I just kind of stuff it in here. I gotta do that at some point, but put this panel back on. Just slides up. You might have to work it with the wheel. Pop this panel back on. And then before you put this panel back on, that's going to block these screws that we got to put back in. So take care of this screw, the one on the other side, then the one. Pop this top panel back on, and we are good. Start the car up just to get the power to the Mando, and we'll start setting it up in the app.